I believe in a winter hat that looks like a fish. Have you ever really wanted to do something, but thought you were too lazy to do it? Well, that happens to me a lot. I'm an 8th grade student, and I believe in a winter hat that looks like a fish. Last summer, I went to camp in Colorado. I've been going there for 3 years now, and I love it. I've made so many great friends there, and I can't wait to go back next summer. Our camp overlooks one of the prettiest, most popular, and biggest mountains in Colorado, Pikes Peak. In total, Pikes Peak is 14,115 feet tall. We climbed about 14 miles of that. As well as being a very difficult mountain, Pikes Peak is also a very commercial mountain. There's a gift shop at the top, and you can hike, drive, or take a train to the top. I set off to go climb Pikes Peak 2 days before I was going to leave camp. I was mainly excited because I got to wear my new winter hat that looked like a fish. We woke up at 12 o'clock at night, got into the vans at 12:15, ate some Pop-Tarts, got out of the vans at 12:55, played some music, and started climbing at 1 in the morning. I was not the most pleasant person ever. We started hiking in the freezing cold, pitch-black wilderness with our headlamps, long underwear, sweatshirts, animal hats, jackets, hiking boots, and gloves on. I wore socks on my hands, but they were surprisingly effective. Once we had gotten above tree line, we stepped into what is known as the Mother Ridge. It's a section of the mountain that is really steep. From the bottom of the Mother Ridge, the mountain looked pretty close, and I was excited. I thought, I can do this. The Mother Ridge is not at all nurturing or caring like a mother. All it is a really steep section of the mountain. There was even more snow and loose rocks on the ground of the Mother Ridge than there were on the tree line. Soon I slipped and fell and slid down the mountain. This happened many times. Finally, we reached the top of the Mother Ridge. I climbed over the top of the Mother Ridge and realized we had an extremely long way to go. Then I collapsed onto the ground until I felt the snow fall down my shirt. The sun had risen, so we had taken off our headlamps and some of our warm layers we had on. After a long break, we started hiking again. Let me say one thing. Mountains are very beautiful when they are looked at from far away. But when you climb them, you tend to look at the ground, which is not nearly as pretty as the actual mountain. This altogether makes you not want to climb the mountain. We hiked for a really long time. After a lot of hiking, we got to the tip of the mountain. From far away, this looks like an easy, smooth, and short patch of mountain. But in reality, it is long, steep, and the ground is made entirely up of large, icy, loose rocks. Before I started to climb, I looked back, and I was amazed. My breath was taken away. We had covered so much ground. I couldn't believe it. Finally, we got to the top. Yes. We went to the gift shop at the top, and I got to eat a donut. It tasted like metal. I was talking to Rachel, my friend from camp, and suddenly I just blurted out, "Wow, that was a big mountain that we just climbed. It was quite a long 7 miles of mountain that we just climbed. Then people started to stare at me, and we left. I was still wearing my fish hat. When we got out of the gift shop, I was excited. I looked over the side of the mountain. I looked at all the way we had to hike down. It was a lot. But then I took another look. I looked at all the beautiful land that we had just climbed. I saw the clouds swirling below me, and I got this great sense of confidence swirling inside of me. I felt invincible. I started down the mountain, reluctantly. When we came to the Mother Ridge again, all the snow had melted off, leaving the ground looking like a steep downhill mudslide with a lot of pointy rocks. I slipped and fell many times. At least we had made it to the bottom of Pikes Peak. In total, we climbed 14 miles in 12 hours, starting at 1 o'clock in the morning and ending at around 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Yet, I felt like I had climbed to the top of the world and back, not to the top of Pikes Peak. 2 days later, camp ended. The last night at camp, no one got any sleep. We all stayed up and watched the stars. But I couldn't watch the stars. I kept looking over at the dim outline of Pikes Peak in the distance. While I was on the bus on the way to the airport to Dallas, I looked back on Pikes Peak. I looked at how beautiful it was, and I remembered when I was on top of it and how I was looking down at the clouds swirling beneath me, and I felt really, really cool. I remembered about how I didn't want to climb it, and I'm so glad I did, because whenever I think about it, I smile. Now, to me, whenever I look at my fish hat, I remember the confidence swirling inside of me. It is more than just a hat to me. I believe in a winter hat that looks like a fish. I believe in myself. This has been an amazing This I Believe essay from Claire West.